Okay, so finally I am doing the Draw My Life tag. It was highly requested, so I figured I would do it. And as hard as it was to write it all out and especially start on these voiceovers, I decided to just open up and let you guys see a piece of my life. So here goes. Um, I started off in my family with my father, of course, and I can't draw, first of all, so I hope you guys aren't looking for something amazing. But then I have my mom, and then there's my older sister, and we actually have different fathers, but we all grew up together. We're like real sisters. And then me in the middle, and then that's my little brother. He came last, and kind of unexpectedly, I think my parents were going to stop having kids, and then they got him, and it was fun. So I grew up in New York. That's where I was born. My mother and my dad split, and it literally broke my heart because I was a daddy's girl in every sense of the word. So then when my parents split, we moved from New York to North Carolina. But before we started like the whole moving process, my mom actually shipped us out to California, and we stayed with my cousins for a little while she got everything settled and got everything together while we were, you know, while she was transitioning jobs and moving all of our stuff and stuff like that. This was possibly the worst day of my life. Like, I never, ever, ever wanted to leave New York. So we moved to High Point, North Carolina. Oh boy, was this a culture shock for me. I wasn't really happy about it. I was getting ready to go, I was starting my, sixth grade year. So that's my first year of middle school, and I had a crazy accent, and people would pick on me and say that I was stuck up because, I stayed to myself. And they were like, oh, she thinks she's all that, and what is, blah, blah, blah. And what they really didn't understand was I was just really shy, really scared, and, in a new place. So I just felt so misunderstood, and I just didn't have anybody in High Point, so I kind of hated it. But eventually it started to get better. I decided to start cheerleading for my middle school, and it allowed me to meet new people and open up and really get a chance to be myself. So I actually met what was my first boyfriend then. It was really funny. We thought we were so official in the what was that, sixth grade? I can't remember. But anyway, so I had new friends. I was finally getting comfortable, and then, of course, there goes the dang U-Haul truck again. We moved again. So we moved from High Point to Durham. And about moving to Durham. I was extremely unhappy. I was already pissed to be leaving New York, and then I'm finally starting to get comfortable in High Point, and then my 8th grade year I moved to Durham. And the, teasing and the bullying and stuff like that was really bad. I got in fights, and it was just terrible. I really think that kids can be extremely vicious, and again, I got the she's stuck up and things like that. So in the beginning, it was really hard for me to make friends because everyone was asking me why I was so stuck up and all these different things. And I'm like, what? I've never even heard the term stuck up until I moved here, but whatever. And then my accent, people would try to pick on me over that. And I was just like, you know what? Screw these people. I don't have time. So I just dug into my books. I was always smart when I was younger. And, being there with people that I didn't know made me dig in even more. So I did this thing called GAMSEC and MSEN and things like that. And I really started getting into science and math. So then I went to my freshman year of high school, and I had good grades. I got a boyfriend, and then he broke my heart. So then my sophomore year, I had okay grades. Then I had another boyfriend, and he moved away. And so that was another heartbreak. And then it was, I got, a little bit sad, I guess you can say. But I always felt like, I was kind of somewhat of a serial dater. I would date someone and be single for 3 months and then date again. So now that I'm older, I don't do that anymore. But then my junior year, my grades went up, and I met a lot of people and I met a lot of friends. But I also got in a lot of fights. I had a lot of altercations with girls. My mom always told me that women are very, very jealous, and she was so right. So there was this one chick, she was way bigger than me, and I was dating her ex-boyfriend, and he was in college. And, you know, we're stupid for like even arguing over a college guy, but she would threaten me and stalk me and harass me to the point where I had to, you know, threaten her with a freaking, what is that called? A restraining order. I had to threaten her with a restraining order. Oh my God, she was psycho, and she looked like a piggy, so we called her Little Miss Piggy. God, she was an evil, evil, evil little troll. So then anyway, on from that, you guys are taking me back and I'm getting ready to like get angry all over again with this crazy heifer. So at that point, I was just like, you know what? I can't take anymore. Like, these people are crazy. Everybody is judgmental. You know, no one knows me. I just can't take anymore. Screw the world. I don't want to talk to anybody. Screw this crap. I'm moving on. Like, I'm not talking to anybody. I started to get selfish, and I just started doing really stupid things that I never, ever, ever thought in a million years I would ever, ever, ever do. And I had a lot of friends who I considered quote unquote friends, but they were really just bad influences and really just didn't do anything to help me, you know, better myself as a person. So eventually I just got into this really dark, like deep place, and I would just cry and cry and cry and cry and cry. And no one ever knew. No one ever knew. My mom wasn't there. She had to work like crazy. My sister and I weren't close. My brother was younger. So it was just bad. And then finally my senior year, I had a new boyfriend, and he has actually become one of my friends now. We are strictly platonic. And then I found new friends who were more focused on better things. Some are still my friends to this day. And then I got, you know, better grades, and then I started talking to more people, and I eventually became homecoming queen my senior year. So that was amazing. I was like, okay, finally I've made it past all of this drama, and I can be cool with people, and I can trust people. Not everybody's a horrible person. So then I started applying to colleges, and boom, next thing you know, your girl was accepted, and I was going to UNC Greensboro. So, it's not the one that you see on TV with the Carolina Blue. No, we're just a division. So all the UNC schools are in different area. That's UNC Chapel Hill, in case you guys didn't know that. So anyway, my spring semester of my freshman year, I got my first serious boyfriend. You know, I decided on my major. I at first went to school pre-med, and I was like, I don't care about that. And then I was biochem and chemistry major, and I was like, I definitely don't care about that. And then my sophomore year, I pledged AKA fall of 2005, and I lost my boyfriend. He cheated on me. So my heart was kind of broken, and I was like, holy cow, like that was the last thing that I expected. So I was like, screw this again. I went back into that really deep place that was probably not the best thing in the world. And I started drinking like crazy. I wasn't even old enough to drink. And I would drink and I would party until the point where I couldn't even remember my drinking and my partying. It was like I was drinking away my sorrows. And I've noticed that the people who do that are usually unhappy on the inside, and you just don't know it. So I went from study, a little bit of party, study some more, to party, party, study a little bit. Screw it, nah, I'm just gonna keep partying. And it just got really, really, really bad. So, flashback to my sophomore year, my father actually bought me a car. Sorry, I thought I was talking about a different part. So, my dad bought me my first car ever. I never had my license. I never had a car or anything. The summer before my sophomore year, I got my first apartment, and then I had my first real apartment that wasn't student housing with my line sister. But my first apartment was me, my friend Felicia, and my friend Desiree, which you guys know today. And then I also got my first real apartment with my line sister, Ebony, and we lived together for, I think, 2 or 3 years. I can't remember. It was a really, really long time. So we were roomies. We were like best friends ever. I love her to death to this day. And yeah, she was just amazing. So this is the part I was talking about. I had 3 serious boyfriends in college, and none of them really made the cut. They just couldn't keep my interest for long enough. And then I met Jeff. And he was like my best friend in the world at first. Like, we started off as friends, and then eventually we realized we liked each other more than that, and we decided to start dating, which was probably one of the best things that had ever happened to me in college. And while it was a very difficult relationship, just because of history and friends and drama, and you know how young we were and stupid and just people who didn't want to see us together, we had a lot of drama. in the beginning, but that's when you learn not to let people into your relationship and to keep it between just the two of you. And then once you do that, you'll be happy. And I was just head over heels, and well, you guys already know that. So we did this for a really long time, and he was actually my first true love. You thought you had it before, but you don't. So that was his place, his role in my life in college. And then you move forward from that, and you see my squiggly line through my face because it was me, trying to do a little bit of everything. I had my books, so I had the chemistry that I was trying to maintain after college. And then I was actually, a waitress for a little while, and that was really, really stressful, just trying to keep all of that up. So essentially I had like 2 jobs, and then I'm trying to keep up with my love life as well as my friends. You can't neglect your love life for your friends or vice versa. You have to find like a balance. And then I also had AKA, which was extremely draining. Like, I was so stressed out, I ended up hospitalized a couple of times just for dehydration and exhaustion and things like that. But finally, honey, I made it to graduation. December 18th, 2008. I will never forget this day for as long as I live. It was one of the best moments of my life. It was the most fulfilling thing ever because, I majored in chemistry, and it was not easy at all. I worked really, really hard, and I was so freaking happy to just be done with it and screw this. I don't want to go to school ever again. Like, forget it. Although my mind is sort of changing now. But yes, I was so ecstatic. All of my family came. My father came. My mother came. My cousins came on both sides. I mean, like, everybody came. And I was just so happy. But then I got smacked with the rude awakening of, a recession. There were no jobs. And I had to stay at my internship for a little while working part-time. And that's why I did the serving that you guys saw in the last clip. So now back to Jeff and I. We are an on-again, off-again relationship. And at this point in life, we were off again. Or we were headed to the off direction, and I could feel it. And so, I started to feel a little like uneasy and not okay. And I tried to find ways to, keep my mind off of it. And that's when I found YouTube and makeup. And, my sister would tell me about it all through college, but I just didn't have time. So YouTube and makeup and plus my broken heart, honey, that's when MsTrueHappiness was formed. And, that's when I started blogging and vlogging and things like that. And Jeff was the one who bought my first video camera. He bought my webcam, and he got me started. So I owe all of this to him. He's been there in between beginning and end, and it's a good way to have something come. So now I have all of you guys. Like, I had no idea that this was gonna grow so huge, and you guys are so amazing. I'm so grateful for you. So I have you guys, and I have my chemistry, and Jeff and I are off again, but it's okay. I am ready to just continue on with the next phase of my life. So, I've got YouTube, which keeps me busy. I have, my job, and I have, just trying to make me healthy and working out and stuff. Honey, that's my new skinny body. And also, I've been finding myself, like, I'm going back to my natural hair, and, I'm able to, like, do both things. So whatever else the future holds, I have absolutely no idea, but I cannot wait to find it out because I'm pretty sure it'll be amazing. So at this point in my life, I have everyone I need for right now. There's me. There's my mom, there's my sister, there's my brother, there's my father, and I have my friends. And really, that's all I need. And of course, I have you, and I have you guys. Oh, and Jackson. How could I forget Jack? So, I feel like my life is complete, and my heart is full, and my heart is smiling at all times, So I just want to say thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys like the little peek I gave into my life. And thank you for always being there for me. I love you guys. See you in the next video.